Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to go over the Canmore real estate market and surrounding area for the month of June 2025. We'll first talk about Canmore and the different areas around it and what happened in the real estate market.
Sounds good. It's good to be here today. Let's talk about Canmore. So in Canmore, in the month of June, we had 39 sales, 1.298 million average sale price, average square foot price of $810, and 42 days on the market.
Deadman's Flats, we had 0. Harvey Heights, we had 1 sale. That property sold for $819,000. Average square foot price, $868 a foot, and it took 100 days to sell that property. Lac des Arcs, there was no action in June there. And then Exshaw, there was 1 sale. It sold for $765,000. Average square foot price, $308 a foot. It was a big home, tear-down home. Average days on the market was 30.
And we'll talk about Banff for all of our Banff people. There was 3 sales in Banff, 1.93 million. $768 was the average square foot price, and average days on the market was 40.
Okay, now let's move into specific property types. This is just going to be focused on the Canmore market specifically. Sales, we had 11 single-family homes sell in June. Average sale price was just over 1.8 million. The average square foot price was $700 flat, and the average days on the market was 42.
So if you're interested in other markets outside of Canmore, i.e. Deadman's, Harvey Heights, Lac des Arcs, Exshaw, or Banff, and you want to know specific areas or specific types of property, just reach out to us. We can give you that data specifically. So townhomes in Canmore, there was 13 sales in the month of June. 1.183 million was the average sale price, $738 a square foot, and the average days on market was 54.
Apartments, we had 5 sales for an average sale price of just over $676,000. The average square foot price, $738 a foot, and it took an average of 38 days to sell.
Half duplexes, we had 2 sales, 1.644 million, $639 per square foot, and the average days on the market was 17, so selling quick for half duplexes.
Moving into the short-term rental sector, we'll dive into hotel condos first. We had 5 sales for an average sale price of $1,033,000. The average square foot price, $909 a foot, and it took an average of 26 days to sell. So busier season for the short-term rental market.
So keep in mind, we're going to talk about tourist homes. We will see tourist home sales happen. There is no more tourist home permits being handed out, so there won't be any new townhomes coming to market, but there were 3 tourist home properties sell in the month of June. Just over $1 million was the average sale price, $1,209 a square foot. So again, above the typical 1,000. Most of the sales of the tourist homes, are Spring Creek and Teepee Town, and the Spring Creeks tend to be a little bit higher priced, as they are a really desirable place in Canmore. So the average days on the market for those tourist homes were 20 days.
Right on. Now we'll dive into some year-to-date active inventory levels and comparing it from 2024 year-to-date to 2025 year-to-date. Do you want to talk about sold listings?
Sure. So sold listings in 2024, there were 251. And up to date in 2025, we had 241. So 4% difference, but we're pretty much on par for what was going on last year.
End of month active inventory. In 2024, at the end of June, we had 132. And then in 2025, we had 141. So again, pretty close numbers, but that is a 7% increase.
Correct. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because the average sale price year to date has gone up 21%, which you would think more active inventory would be a buyer's market, but that is not the case. Our average year to date sales price was 1.1 in 2024, and we're 1.33 in 2025. So we have a 21% increase. So We are seeing growth. We are in our busy time, the hotel condos and tourist homes specifically, but the other market's been really solid as well. The reason hotel condos and tourists become busy this time of year is because this is when the investors can make their most amount of money. So they like to be kind of purchasing, almost being done purchased, although we will see sales throughout the year. But between June or even May and September is kind of the busy season for those single-family townhomes, apartments, and half duplex. And the residential side have been quite well, specifically the single-family and the townhomes.
Yeah, I mean, 24 of our 39 sales came from single-family and townhouses in the month of June. So, been very steady for the residential market in June, and I think that's kind of playing a factor towards the 21% increase. Is there seems to be more activity in the residential market than we've seen in maybe the last couple of years. We really saw the short-term rentals kind of take off there for a couple of years from 2020 to 2023, and they still are growing, but the residential market now seems to be catching up to that.
It does.
And I know we've talked about this multiple times, but the 21%, that number's come down a little bit since the start of the year.
Yeah,
but we thought it was going to come down even more because 21% is pretty significant. So again, it'll be interesting to monitor that throughout the remainder of 2025 and into the third quarter kind of thing. But I don't know if that number is necessarily going to come down below 15% by the end of the year at this rate.
No, and we talk about Canmore and how it changes and who comes and what comes, whether the stuff going on between Canada and the U.S. right now and tariffs and all that talk and whatever side of the fence you're on. We don't want this to be a political platform, but it just changes on who comes. We're seeing a lot of local, meaning Canadian people here, and buying homes and wanting this to be a special place to live, and that seems to be what drives the price. I think the 21% is not sustainable. I don't suspect that number is going to come down drastically, especially in the next 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
As we roll into the fall, through the summer into the fall. Every Tuesday we have realtor rounds, and we've been going on those, and just seeing the product that's coming out on a weekly basis is just it's quite astounding. And then to see them, not lasting. I mean, the longest average days in the market was 54, and that was the townhomes. So we're less than 2 months for product to be moving. So that's a pretty hot market.
Yeah. And what I've realized kind of in conclusion is that since we've seen our inventory levels gradually increase over the last 6 months to a year kind of thing, is it's just creating a more, I don't want to say desperate, but a busier market because there's just more things out there. So people are selling to move to here. There's just more options, and everyone is just, I think, kind of taking advantage of that finally.
Yeah.
And I do think that there are a lot of properties that they're touching the market and people are scooping them up within a week. Like that's still existing. And so the desirable things in pricing does still matter because we are seeing that average sold to list ratio come down a little bit. So I'm thinking people are maybe trying to push the market a bit, and it's important not to.
Yes.
Because that will come to you. But yeah, no, I think the inventory levels are good, and we're seeing a positive benefit from it.
Yeah.
It's coming gradually, and it's not just happening all at once. Which,
I would agree.
Which is not good.
I would agree. We've got some super exciting news from a grassroots realty group perspective. We are opening our new office here in Canmore. We're super excited about that. It's in downtown Canmore. It's in the stages of being completed. We're expecting to be there in early August, which will be really nice. We'll be shooting our videos from there, the ones that we do inside, and I think we're going to switch it up a little bit about how we're going to do it and what we're going to do. So stay tuned for that. I'm super excited to be able to get into the office and be downtown. You know, we joke about this lots, right? I mean, we don't like to go downtown, especially at this time of year, because it's busy, right? And you know, the whole parking thing, and we can talk about that, but it's going to be really good to feel that vibe, and to feel the excitement of Canmore, and to bump shoulders with people who are coming to see our town. And so we're looking forward to that. That's pretty exciting news from our standpoint.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're cruising down Main Street, make sure you stop in. Other than that, that's kind of all we got for you for June. If you'd like and subscribe to the channel, it does help us grow and get this content to more people who can benefit from it. And we look forward to kind of coming at you with some statistic once the month of July is over. So thanks for watching.